United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have two items on the docket this evening, one being the national prescription opioid litigation, and the other being just a continue from last week's follow-up discussion regarding the city ward redistricting.
So I know that we put it on an executive session if the council wants to go into executive session, but I did speak with the council president, and there's really no need to if you don't really want to. It's up to you. I'm just going to give you a little update. So as you know, the council had previously authorized the city to enter into a settlement agreement with the majority of the defendants in the opioid litigation several months ago. Of those majority of the defendants, there were two defendants that had not settled, and they were supposed to start trial, I think, 2 weeks ago on Monday. As of last Tuesday, we got notification that the Attorney General had actually settled that case with the two defendants on the same terms and conditions that had been previously agreed to with all the first batch of defendants. So what I'm looking for here is just the approval to execute the settlement agreement on behalf of the city, either myself or the mayor, to sign the settlement agreement, and that should release. And don't quote me on this number, I'll get you the exact number, but I believe from these two defendants over a 17-year period, I think it was either $178,000 in cash, which can only be used for certain drug remediation issues. And then one of the defendants also agreed to a certain dollar amount of in-kind contributions for Narcan and stuff like that to give to police departments and whatnot. That was part of their settlement agreement. So all the cities and towns are being asked to, who are part of this litigation, were asked to speed up and get this done, because if we get it, if more than 90% of the cities and towns agree to do this by a certain date, there's actually a little bit of incentive for more money. So,
Okay,
that's it.
any questions from the council? Discussion? No?
We didn't do a roll call. We didn't do a roll call for roll call to get here.
Okay, so before we go into any discussion or vote, Deputy Clerk, may we start off with a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Councilman Cahoon?
I'm here.
Councilman Morado?
Here.
Council Vice President Rodrick?
Here.
Councilwoman Souza?
Here.
Council President Brito?
Yeah. You may resume.
That was my fault.
That's all right.
So I'm just looking for the authority to enter into the settlement agreement on behalf of the city with the remaining defendants of Teva and Allergan.
Motion to enter into agreement.
You have a second on that motion?
Second.
Deputy Clerk, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Councilman Cahoon?
Aye.
Councilman Morado?
Aye.
Council Vice President Rodrick?
Aye.
Councilwoman Souza?
Aye.
Council President Brito?
Aye. And we're going to move on to the next and final item, which is the city ward redistricting, introducing of ordinance for discussion and possible vote, first passage. Ordinance and amendment of Chapter 2 of the revised ordinance of the City of East Providence, Rhode Island, 1998, as amended, entitled Administration Summary. The purpose of this ordinance is to redraw ward boundaries to comply with the results of the 2020 census.
Just a brief introduction. So as you know, at the last council meeting, which was a workshop, the council entered into a consensus to approve what was then presented as, I believe, option D. With that consensus, even though there was no formal vote, based on with the help of Karen and from the engineering department, we went and redrew the boundaries based upon that map. That's what's before you today. Is the first ward, second ward, third ward, and fourth ward, which we believe accurately reflects the map. And just to be certain, if there's any confusion, we're actually going to incorporate the actual map into the ordinance as well. So this will be first passage of that. And the map is attached.
And just for clarification, the stripes in black and white, that's the old, indicating the old boundary lines, correct?
That's all I have. And I can't thank Karen enough for doing this, because it was kind of complicated.
Okay.
Making a motion to approve this, or do we still need discussion?
So I just have a question. I did reach out and ask about voter numbers, and I didn't hear a response on any of that. So I know that what we were given were actual resident numbers that lived in the area per the census, but what were the actual voter numbers for each of the wards? Yeah, last
Karen,
Thursday.
you mind stepping up to the podium, please? Just so we can hear you.
So I haven't heard from her since last Thursday when I spoke with her.
Is your mic on? I don't mean to interrupt you. Is your mic on? Is it green?
There it is. Okay. Yeah, all I know is that you had a discussion with her. I think she was working some numbers, and trying to get numbers back to you. She did do two different proposals, Plan D and I believe D1. But I don't know whatever happened with those numbers. Mike, did you get anything from her?
I'm looking now, there was a D1 map that was sent to you, I believe, because we all got it.
What's it, D1?
It was, D1 was a,
We all got it?
yeah, it was a, oh, I don't know if you all got it. It was sent to Councilwoman Souza because she was requesting, some numbers and a potential change in the map. And, it was a PowerPoint that was sent,
Who would have
Right here.
been sent by?
Preeti.
Yeah,
didn't get anything
I didn't get, I don't know which email she.
Yeah, I didn't get
had
anything
sent
from
it
her either.
to.
Yeah, I don't think it was, I think it was just because she had reached
Is
out.
this the Plan D, oh, yeah,
Plan
the-
D, Plan D1, so DA,
They, but this is just based on the population, correct?
And this was to change this little piece right here.
We can get to that number before the, second passage, I guess.
Yeah, I just, I was looking for the numbers, correct?
I don't know if I guess when you say of actual voters, you mean eligible voters or people who actually vote? I don't think they can tell you who actually votes. They can just
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
the
well-
18 above, you mean?
Right,
Yeah, okay.
registered voters.
Registered voters, I'm sorry.
Registered voters,
Okay.
yes, registered voters. So this is the one that we're currently in, or is this the one?
This is the one that I think was
Voting tonight.
discussed at
That's the
last
one we're voting
meeting.
tonight.
This one was something that she came up with after the fact.
Did-
So,
I think did you not call her about that issue and you, remember I gave you her number? And my understanding is that you called her and then she came up with a D1.
Oh, she never responded to me about it. It was a quick
Okay.
15-minute conversation, telling her what my wants were, my asks were for her, and she didn't, it was end of day. So I told her it wasn't necessary for her to rush to it, but if she could give it to me before this meeting, and I hadn't heard back. So that's why I'm inquiring now.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything. I know she sent that package.
That was like sent out early, like the next day, I think. I'll check. I thought you were on the email, but I could be wrong.
No.
Yeah, I know you're not on it. I thought,
Yeah, no, I didn't, so it can, I keep, so do you want it? Okay. So yeah, if you could, we could. I
look
don't
at
know.
those numbers. So Leslie, we need to get the numbers of, just have pretty, of the, just your ward or the entire,
No, each of the wards.
each of the wards, the number of, not by population, but by, voting population, actual voters. Which is not how we determine the lines, but it is,
Right.
right.
And I understand that, I just want the numbers for my own knowledge.
Can I just raise one potential correction?
Hope not.
Well,
Good.
it's not with where the line is. It's under the third ward.
Yeah.
By the way, the description on this is spot on. I followed it on the map. It's fantastic. But
Thank Karen, not me.
the written ordinance refers to Mink Road,
Yeah.
and I believe that's Mink Street. It's
Okay.
Mink Street Storage, and it's Mink Street on Google. I just want to make sure we got the right.
Well, sometimes, Google's not always accurate. We use what we have in our GIS system. Is that what we use, Karen?
Do you go by meets and bounds?
No.
No?
Well, it's like a meets and bounds description. And it'll say like, 300 feet on Main Street, but it
Yeah.
won't be yeah. Right.
So when you have a cut through when you have a street that cuts or doesn't go all the way through, you don't use
It's a
meets and
boundary
bounds for
street.
that? You use just,
Street, not road, about 10 lines down.
Okay, you do, all right. Yep, okay, all right.
Can we just check, we can, if we just get the authority to post it as it is in GIS, that's the official, right? Is that how we? Okay. So,
So it is just based on your street boundary lines, so going down Central Lane of the street, so it's not
no, but as far as the street name, what do we use, where do we get the name from?
We get the names from the, street, but we can verify that.
Alright, so we can change it, whatever's correct on our street map. So, right. It may be the street map says one thing and the sign on the street says something else, and the street map is one, the street map is what really controls.
So if the street map controls, then this reflects the street map, then this should trace to the street map.
Correct. So
Okay.
it's a sign, because sometimes we
Okay.
don't want a sign.
Okay.
But we'll check, we'll double check. Yeah, Main Street. Very good. Yeah. Oh, she can come in. I think the street's here.
Yeah.
She probably give you those numbers.
Mr. President, while we're waiting for that, just a quick follow-up question. What's the repercussion? We know in this case, I'll use this example, we know Mink is correct. So if street or road, would it mean those people couldn't vote or something?
No,
It shouldn't,
It's just the boundaries. We're just, I mean, that's why I put the map.
right.
The map should be read along with the streets. And again, this is not unique to East Providence. People think, Hope Street or Hope Avenue, people just call it whatever locally, but the
Circle
official name may
Street,
be something, yeah.
No one lives on Mink.
Yeah.
It's all commercial.
Cut through.
A lot of it's
Well, they have the same name, but they're separate.
Right.
Those are two separate streets. How about Circle Drive and Circle Street?
That's not a boundary. Is that a boundary though?
No, it's not a boundary, but I'm just inquiring about the name.
That does get
Because they reference it always by Circle Drive. It's actually Circle Street, according to the sign.
So, in case there was ever an issue, the map should be read along with the description that. It's not an exact science. As far as
The description tracks exactly the map. The description's precise.
I have to think there. Not me, I could do that. Maybe. So I don't know north from south.
So
Coming in, no?
Okay.
Switch streams.